everybody, my name is Sophie and welcome back to another episode of the Bookhater Club podcast. My favorite place, and hopefully also your favorite place, to talk about all types of bookish content and things that are happening in the bookish world. And today you guys are in luck because we have two super exciting topics about bookish events. Oh my god, my favorite topic. I love bookish events. I want to go to one so bad. And today we're talking about one that happened in Baltimore, which you might have already heard about. Honestly, like was such a disaster that it's gone beyond the bookish world, so I wouldn't be surprised. And then you're going to say, what other event happened that was a disaster? Well, it was German. It was a German event. Well, it's not. It hasn't happened yet as I'm filming this. So I'll give you an update in the next episode or the one after that. But there's a German book talk event happening, and there's also some drama surrounding that because they don't want to pay their workers. So we are in for a great time today. If you want to hear about one of these topics specifically, I'm going to put timestamps in the description so you can skip forward. And before I talk about those, I have my segments that I want to talk to you guys about, so I can give you a little update. And that is, what am I reading, what am I watching, what am I gaming, and what is my favorite drama at the moment. To give you a little life update, basically. Which I don't have a life update as is. Nothing new has happened to me, thankfully. So we will just get straight into the topics. Number one. What am I gaming? Nothing. I'm not gaming anything. I was thinking about lying and just saying something random, but I couldn't even think of anything to lie about, so I'm just gonna say as is. I have nothing that I'm gaming right now. I don't have the time. I don't have the will to do it either, so sorry. Next. What am I watching? Now, I actually forgot to look up what it is in English, guys. On Netflix. The Walter Boys. The Walter Brothers. In German, I think it's... No, actually, I don't know what it is. What is the German title? It's something with the Walter Boys. Walter Brothers? Whatever the fuck. Stop. It's this show, and you guys have to let me know if you've watched it. It's on Netflix. The first season came out in 2023. The second one's coming out this year. And I will now do a little bit of a background information on what the show's about and why am I watching it. Why am I watching it? I'm watching it because I enjoy The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah, I can admit it. I enjoyed The Summer I Turned Pretty. I remember when the first All the Boys I've Loved Before movie came out. I was also obsessed with that. The other ones not so much. I watched the Kitty show. All of these I'm mentioning because they're by Jenny Han. I actually don't think that what is the show about Kitty called? The one about all the lives. What am I fucking saying? I'm sorry. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. That's 3 movies on Netflix. And it's based on a book by Jenny Han. And then there was a spin-off show about the girl's little sister from those movies. It was a show, not movies, a spin-off. And I think that one wasn't written by Jenny Han. It was just a spin-off that they did. And I watched that, okay? Next. Then... The Summer I Turned Pretty, that's why I'm talking about it. The Summer I Turned Pretty is also based on novels by Jenny Han, which I've never read any of those and I don't care really. I've heard that she's, well, allegedly, not a very good writer. But I really enjoyed The Summer I Turned Pretty because I like fantasizing about being an American teenager at the beach. But I'm a grown-ass German woman in my room. And the 3rd season is coming out in July of The Summer I Turned Pretty. And so I recently rewatched The Summer I Turned Pretty. That's the reason I'm telling you guys this. I recently rewatched it. It's on Prime Video. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? What am I going to watch now? Because I like having shows to watch that I can binge. But I don't like shows that where I have to really pay attention much. I like when shows are bad, but I also like shows that don't need a lot of brain power. Because you can also go and say, okay, you've never watched Breaking Bad. Go watch Breaking Bad then. But I need to concentrate. And I don't want to concentrate. I don't have the brain power. I already have to concentrate on reading books. I can only do so much. And so I remembered, like, really in the back of my mind that there was a random ass show that reminded me of The Summer I Turned Pretty just from the premise or from the looks of it, and that was the Walter Boys show. That's why I'm talking about it. So that's what reminded me of that show. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch the Walter Boys or Brothers or whoever the fuck, the Walters. And it's on Netflix. It's a show. Again, I already said that. It's about this girly pop whose parents die. And then she moves to Colorado or somewhere. Or Minnesota or Missouri, one of those. Sorry. Sorry. I just have to lump you in together because I don't know where she went. It's somewhere with horses and yeehaws. And the lady from Suits plays her new mother, her adoptive mother, basically. What is her name? Donna in Suits. Whatever her name is in real life. Queen, love you, my ginger queen. And she plays the mother and the adoptive mother. And then she moves in with this adoptive mother and her husband and her many children, and there's only one other girl. Like, they only have one daughter, and it's like a small girl, so she doesn't fucking matter. She's only in a few episodes because of child labor laws. And then the other ones are all boys, and they're all crazy, and she's thrown into this crazy life on a farm, and she used to live in New York, and her parents were rich, but now they're dead, so that doesn't really matter. And now she has to figure out her life on this farm with the Walter brothers and boys and girls and daydams. I mean, one of them is gay, so that's inclusive enough already. We don't need the daydams. We just, we already got the gays. Sorry. And that was a joke. I don't know if you would see me for the first time. That was a joke. But there's a gay brother, thankfully. And she has a crush on the one that looks like he's 15 and looks like he's biting the inside of his cheek the whole time. And then she also has a crush on the blonde, mysterious one who looks like he's 30, which probably because he is 30 in real life, but he's playing a junior. No. What is it? Sophomore in high school. So that's not really flying for me, but alas. Maybe he's also playing a senior, I don't know, but he does not look like he's in high school. Sometimes they cast people where I'm like, okay, like, I can believe it. Like, I know you're older, but I can't believe it. And then they cast people who are 30 years old, and I'm like, this is a grown man. Get him out of here. And she hasn't kissed any of them yet, I think. And if you want to know my opinion on the show, which is the whole reason I'm telling you about this, it is so bad. I hate it. I genuinely don't know. I stopped watching even before they kissed. Before she kissed any of the brothers that she has no chemistry with, because I was like, I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered to watch. I don't want to know. Keep it a mystery forever. The show ended after 2 episodes for me. I don't know how many I watched. But I think that I don't know any of these actors in there besides the Suits lady. None of them can act, especially not the main characters. And I'm watching it in English because I was like, I want to get the full experience. And whenever they deliver a line, it's just like, you can just tell that the person opposing them, like, or if it's multiple characters in the scene, they're always just waiting for each other to say their line. So the next person can say their line. You can just tell, you know what I mean? So shout out that you got a 2nd season, but I don't know how, because I don't know if people actually like the show. I don't like it. I don't know if I'm going to finish the 1st season. I kind of have to. I want to know if she ends up with the mysterious brother or the boring one. Who knows? Do they ever end up with the boring one? Probably not. But I would not recommend. And I am someone, I love bad TV and shows and movies. I think they're really enjoyable, but that one is just not good at all. And it's not even like funny bad. It's just bad. It's like, oh my god, girl. And you're gonna say, okay, Sophie, then do it better. You know, you're bashing these actors in a Netflix show, 2nd season. Do it better then. Okay, I can. Get me in front of the get me in front of the camera. I'll do it. I can do it better. I'll just say it. So that's what I'm watching currently. And what am I currently reading, you ask? Guys, you can all take a breath. I'm reading Silver Elite. I'm reading it. I already started it and then I stopped reading it because it was so bad. Can I ever read a book that's good? It's this new book that came out of nowhere. And if you've heard about it, great. If you haven't, it's a dystopian book. And then everyone's like, oh, this author is bringing back dystopian books. They're making dystopians trendy again. No, absolutely not. Every time I read a dystopian book, I just feel like the author wants to call me a dumb fucking bitch. But that doesn't understand anything. Because it's so... The world building is so primal. I don't know if that's the right word to use, but it's like, there's 3 people groups. The mods, the primes, the ordinaries. I don't remember the third one. I only read like the first 2 chapters. I don't know the third. I forgot the exposition. I forgot it already. But I know that one of them is called mods, and they're modified. They're different, and the primes are super strong. It's like, okay, it's so... Dystopian is so simple, and it always makes me feel like the author doesn't trust me to understand anything in the world, because they always give you such hardcore exposition and like make everything so simplified. And also the writing is bad. And the point I want to get to is this author is Denny whatever the fuck her last name is, and this author doesn't show their face online, and this is their first book, and it blew up. And on their Instagram there is only promotion for this book. So people are saying this is the pen name of a popular author, and they maybe wanted to publish a book secretly and decided to just do it like this, and that's why it was taken on immediately by a publisher and blah blah blah, because it's all things that are running in the back. You know what I think? What did I think? Wait, I came up with an explanation, I forgot it. You know how Rebecca Yarrock said that she didn't want to write Fourth Wing because she wanted to write Fourth Wing? She wrote it because her publisher was looking for someone to write a dystopian series. And not a dystopian, sorry, a romantic fantasy story. The publisher was actively seeking someone like that to fill the niche for them, and she volunteered. And so I think that's just what happened here. I don't know the publisher, actually I forgot. Guys, you'll hear it in the review. Why do I have to tell you now? You're gonna like, you know what? Leave me alone. And what did I want to say? I think that the publisher was looking for an author that they already had, probably, or any author, honestly, and was like, hey, we want a dystopian book, we want to make dystopian cool again. That was just their marketing plan, and they looked for an author who could do it, and then they did it. And maybe the author didn't want that attached to their name. So I do believe that it's probably an author that's known. People are like, is it Sarah J. Maas? No. Why would it be the Sarah J. Maas? The fuck? Is it Cassandra Clare? No, guys. Is it Lauren Roberts? They come up with the craziest ideas. Honestly, I love when people theorize in the comments and you're just like, what the fuck? And I also love when people on TikTok, they're like, asking you who you want to have cast. I forgot something I want to talk to you guys about regarding my arch nemesis. Well, we have another topic. I'm shaking my boots right now, remembering this. But people get movie deals. You could already imagine what I'm gonna say about my arch nemesis. And then they ask like, oh my god, who do you want to see cast and blah blah blah. And then people say like, Anya Taylor-Joy as Mare. Who's Mare? Anya Taylor-Joy as who's the main character from Powerless? What the fuck is her name again? Peyton. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peyton. Damon. No, Ian Somerhalder. Why did I call him Damon? I know why I call him Damon. Ian Somerhalder as Grimm from Lightlark. Sorry? Are you guys okay? The fuck? What kind of casting is this? Okay, so that's what I'm reading. Let me know if you've read it or not. I think this is just like, you know, it's gonna be like everything else, but I want to hop on the hype train while it's still choo-chooing, so you'll hear my thoughts soon. And now, for the last part of the segment, what is my favorite drama at the moment? My drama that I have to present to you guys is a personal one that I have. I actually went to the Tate McRae concert in Germany. I can say where. Stuttgart. I went to Stuttgart for the concert. I do not live close to Stuttgart. Why do I keep saying like that? Stuttgart. I can say it German. I'm German. I do not live close to there, in case you're getting your hopes up. I traveled there. I went there by train. And it was her third tour stop. And I met there with my friend, who also had to go... She also came with her car from far away. We met there. Haven't seen her in years. No, that's a joke. But we don't see each other often because she lives a little bit farther away now. And so we're like, oh, we want to do something. Like, we want to go somewhere. We want to go to a concert together. Let's go to Tate McRae. Neither of us are Tate McRae fans. Am I a Tate McRae fan? No. Not that I have anything against her. When You Broke Me First comes on the radio, I will not skip. However, she came out with her new album and started touring with it, and I was like, I literally don't know the songs. And then I was learning the songs beforehand because I don't think they're bad or anything. I think she has some bangers. And I was just excited to go because, you know, I think she's cool. I like when she shakes some ass. I wish I could shake some ass like that. And it was a really good performance. And it was a really nice experience. I did not get any merch because I'm not paying 50 euros for a fuck-ass t-shirt. And then I went back home and I went to work the next day after coming home at 2 a.m. But I did that. And now you're gonna say, how was the concert? Good. And then you're gonna say, okay, and what is the drama? What is the drama about it? Well, I just told you, this was her third tour stop. Before that, she had Madrid and Lisbon. Then Stuttgart. Then after that, Dublin. Maybe. No, it was something else. Doesn't really matter. It was somewhere else in Europe. Antwerpen. It was in Antwerpen. Antwerp. And now, let me ask you a question. Why the fuck did she not post anything about Stuttgart? She makes a post about every single tour stop, except Stuttgart. And people in her comments were also pointing this out. On TikTok, on Instagram, they were like, you skipped Stuttgart. She didn't post anything. She posted one picture out of the dressing room on that day. Nothing. Even on her story, she was like, I was never there. I was never there. And people started saying, oh, the crowd was dead. The crowd. I take that personally because I was singing the songs that I knew. And the ones I didn't know, I was shaking ass, you know. The crowd was dead. And when I didn't know, I was just going, woo, Tate McRae. Saying her full legal name, Tate McRae, woo. And I thought at first maybe it was a joke and she would like do it in retrospect because the next day she played a show in Antwerp. And it was like the biggest crowd to date that she played. She posted that. That's why I know it. And so maybe she was just so excited about that, but she should have done one in retrospect. No, that's the drama that I have at the moment. My friend and I were like, why didn't she post anything? Crowd was dead. Allegations, I can't beat them. I was screaming, it wasn't my fault, okay? If you guys don't shake ass at a concert, that's not my fucking fault. If you get seats and then you don't shake ass, that's not my fucking fault. I was standing at the very back, arguably, but I was shaking it, you know? Up and down, side, left to right. She didn't post anything. She is never coming back to Stuttgart ever again. Which I don't really care about, but we have a bad reputation now. This is the forgotten concert in Tate McRae concert history. And I don't really care, but I don't really have anything else going on drama-wise, so I thought I would tell you guys about this. If you were there, I didn't see you. Nobody asked me for an autograph. Maybe I was a little bit more famous. I could have almost filled the arena up that we were in with all of my subscribers. Just, I don't want to get in over my... I could have almost filled it up. Now guys, while talking, I was reminded of a topic that I wanted to tell you guys about. And it's a little bit of a bonus because I didn't look anything up because I can't. Alex Astor's new book is being turned into a movie. I think we all saw this coming from 10,000 miles away. Every book of hers is going to be turned into a movie now. I won't believe it until I see it. I have to be honest. And it's so insane to me. Because why? Why her books? I want the books that are there. It's not even good. But that maybe explains why she always writes a little bit more dialogue heavy. Or maybe like a little bit more script-esque than a normal... But then maybe he should have been a screenwriter. I mean, the main character is a screenwriter of that book. But... yeah, Summer in the City, the romance book, is being turned into a movie. I have a review on it up on my channel if you haven't watched it. If you need a reminder, go watch it again, maybe 5 times if you're not that busy. And also leave a like. And then she also had like a... I don't know if she was doing like a book tour, but she was like, yeah, and then my next romance book is gonna be about a character that you see in this book, only briefly. How the fuck do you always... why are you writing another one? Nobody fucking wanted that. I didn't want that. I just allegedly, in Minecraft, don't believe that she is that successful. I'm being dead ass. Like, if I think of all the authors that are out there, and then I think of Alex Astor, I feel like Alex Astor is way more in a niche, which I don't even know what that niche is, but she's way more of a niche author than others. And their books aren't being turned into movies. Does she just take every deal? It was probably already said before she published that book. I imagine, allegedly. that's because otherwise I can't explain it to myself. So I have to say about that. It's really funny because people started commenting under my review. They were like, "Oh, there's news. Did you see the news? Do you want what did I do to you that you want to torture me like that? Did I do anything to you? Did I kick your dog? I would never kick a dog in my life. Ever. I love dogs. I will give them a pet. Don't comment that shit on my video. Stay away." Okay, which bookish event topic should we start with? The one in America or the one in Germany? I think I'm gonna do the one in America first. And there have been so many people reporting on this. So my report will definitely be the worst because I'm not doing a deep dive. I'm going to tell you guys about this the way I would tell my friend or my boyfriend about it, who know nothing about the topic, and just kind of present to you the highlights of this event. So if you want more of an, sorry, I have to get a little comfortable. If you want more of an deep dive on the topic, there are so many videos out there already. I keep seeing them from people who are not in the bookish sphere even. I think the Do We Know Them podcast also did an episode about them, and they always do a lot of research. It's with Lily Smiles and Lily, no, that's not their fucking names. Jessie Smiles. I made the ship name for them, and Lily Martins. So if you are interested in knowing from beginning to end about this entire event, I would recommend watching their deep dive. It's like 1.5 or maybe, I don't want to lie, but I think definitely over an hour long, so it's really fun. I love watching long episodes where people just talk about things. That's why I do it myself. And so, again, I will just tell you guys about my understanding of the situation and kind of a like brief overview of what happened. And I hope that everyone who participated in this event gets a refund. And also, everything I say about this event is alleged, and nothing is a fact. And everything is my opinion. And I wish peace and love upon everyone in this situation. It was called the A Million Lives Book Festival, or book convention, basically. What's the difference between a convention and a festival and a roundtable and a summit? I will never know. And I also don't care. It was in Baltimore. It already happened at the beginning of May of this year. In Baltimore, good morning, Baltimore. Oh, I actually have no idea if that's correct or where that is from and why I know that. And it was supposed to be a bookish event about books and authors. It was a little bit ambiguous, is what I'm trying to convey here. No one really knew what was going on or what was happening, but it was definitely marketed as like a book convention. And I think that if you are in the bookish community, you have a little bit of an understanding with the way it is marketed. And like if you see the design of things, you can kind of imagine like in what direction it will go. And so this was definitely like a fantasy romance focused event, right? And the reason I keep saying ball is because there was a ball planned in combination with this convention. So it was like a 2-in-1 deal, right? In Baltimore. Actually, if you put a map in front of me, I would not know where Baltimore is, which direction I would have to go. So let me know what's going on in Baltimore. Good morning if you're from Baltimore. Good night to everybody except the people in Baltimore. Do you know those kind of videos? They never choose anything that I have, so I always get a good night. They always go like, good night to everyone except people who have red socks on. And it's like, I don't even have red socks, so I'm good. So this event happened at the beginning of May, and it was planned at least 1.5 years in advance, allegedly, because there was an author that did like a multi-part explanation of what happened to her and her experience. And she said that she paid her deposit for her table at the convention 18 months before the event. So they were told that at this convention there would be like a vendor's area and an author's area where they would get a designated table, and then they would be able to, you know, put up their books and talk to readers and talk to other authors and get connections and blah blah blah. And it was supposed to be great and fun, and it wasn't great and fun. Anyway, this author said she paid $150 deposit for her table, and then you could also decide if you wanted to sponsor the event. And that would mean that you would have to pay additional money. So what this author did was she paid $250 on top of those $150 that she already paid to get like special treatment in regards of postings and stuff. You know, she was a sponsor of the event because she paid money. So as a benefit, it was like, oh, you're gonna get special posts on Instagram, you're gonna be part of a panel, and blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. And all of this never happened. Sorry, it's not funny, but all of this never happened. And she said, well, I'm pregnant with twins, I didn't have time, I wasn't active on social media to look into it, but she was like, oh, $250, good deal. I think everyone who went there, all of the authors who went there, generally thought that this would be like a really big convention, like huge, and would be a great marketing opportunity for them. And her saying, well, $250, that's a great deal. I was like, is it? I don't have $250 to just pay for that. But the way I also understood it is that it's her main job. Like, the publishing is her main job, so maybe it is a good deal for her, but that's still crazy for me to like hear someone say. And then she also showed that there were like other ticket categories, which was $150, and you would get like a different kind of posting or less, right? So the authors also had to bring their own swag for VIP bags, because if you're wondering the prices of the tickets, they were either $50, $150, or $250. $50 was just the general admission that you can go inside of the event and like walk around, and then $150 and $250 were the VIP packages, and that would mean that you also got a swag bag. And the $250 is actually the one that you would have to pay if you wanted to attend the ball. You only the $250 allegedly could attend the ball. Okay, keep that in mind. So they brought their own swag. The authors were asked to bring their own swag for the VIP bags. These VIP bags never made it to any of the attendees because the lady that planned the event was like, the convention threw them away. Why would they do that, girl? Why would they do that? I don't think they did that. In my personal opinion, I don't think they did that. She also said, the author also said there were like 120 authors signed up to attend the event, but there was no marketing or advertising done before the event happened. Like, very sparsely, very little promotion was done, and that might explain, should I really just tell you, why for those 120 authors slash like vendors, and like there were also narrators, you know, professional audiobook narrators. You know how many people showed up to this fucking convention? 80. I'm so sorry. 80 fucking people turned up on the second day. The first day was the VIP only day. 40 people. Anyway. So, none of the authors that applied to this event realized any of these red flags, that there was no promotion being done, that when they sponsored the event, nothing was being posted that they were promised. I'm just gonna believe that for now. I find it a little sussy. If I paid 250 euros, oh, well, yes, euros because I'm German, or 150 for something and I didn't receive that service, I would be saying, what is happening? What is happening? That is what I would be saying, because I am German. So, something else happened. More things started happening. The event happened, right? They actually had a venue. Like, believe it or not, they managed that. And when the authors were preparing to arrive, the featured authors, I think there was like 10 featured authors, whatever that means, received an email that their hotels at the Hilton would know, or not hotels at the Hilton, rooms at the Hilton Hotel were no longer going to be available because the Hilton was not answering the event coordinator and her calls and emails, so she couldn't provide them with a room at the Hilton, and instead they would have to move to the Daily Inn or Day Inn across the street. So just like, I imagine like a motel. Okay, because they were promised that their hotels were going to be paid for. Come to find, the event coordinator's card declined. Either it declined or her account was frozen, it was one or the other. The authors allegedly had to then pay for their own hotel after being promised that they would have it paid for. So everyone was like, okay, we're still gonna go through with this. We're already here. Some people travel from out of state, you know. They wanted to make the best of it. They were still thinking this was going to be a big event with like 500, 600 attendees. And I mean, I already told you there was more people presenting their things than people attending the event. And it was actually, if you're wondering, in the Baltimore Convention Center. I didn't say that. It was in Baltimore, in the Baltimore Convention Center, in the basement. So the space was huge. They posted videos of how it looked, and there was a lot of space, and it just, you know, you have to book the right venue. And I think finding the right venue for your event, that was really hard for me to say, is one of the hardest aspects of even running an event, because you need to be like judging how many people are going to attend and what makes sense for you. So evidently this event coordinator severely overestimated how many people would be applying and how many people would be attending the event as like just visitors. And that's why the fucking floor also looked so bare, because if you had just booked a smaller space, I don't know why everybody always with these events wants to go big immediately. Why don't you want to start small? Yeah, you want to make money, you want to go as big as possible, but I think only people who have no experience in event coordination, and I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, only those people can fuck up so badly. They always think it's much easier than it actually is. And not that I'm like the event coordination expert. I have a little bit of expertise, if I might say so myself, because of my work that I do. Not like major, I'm pretending like I know everything, but I know from already organizing events with like 50 attendees how much work goes into it. And I mean, she was planning a year and a half at least beforehand. And then the fucking room with the tables, it was just a room of tables. The convention center was just a room with tables in it for this event. There was no decoration at fucking all. No tablecloths, no balloons, nothing. Bare and empty space. Nothing there. Oh my god, it's so embarrassing. If I had been the event coordinator, I don't know if I, like, why didn't she cancel? She already spent all the money. But as if it was, well, she booked the venue for 3 days. And I don't know how much money she made at the end of the day and how expensive it is to book and rent the space. But if you can tell a month beforehand, I think a month is like tight, but at least it gives people who are wanting to attend and who are planning on attending like time to maybe move things around and just, you know. And she didn't even say anything, and then she just made the event happen, and she was like, no, we're going to go through with it. It's so embarrassing. I don't know how, with like a good conscience, you could actually open the doors to this convention. Then there's also this whole other aspect with the author that attended, who was recounting her experience, talking about how the event coordinator said that the badges that they were supposed to have broke, and then it was low-key like people could just walk into the event, like from upstairs to downstairs. They could just kind of get lost in the convention center and just kind of come to their event, which is obviously like without a ticket, which is, I mean, not that many people did, but they could have just entered, because apparently, allegedly, they weren't really monitoring it with like the wristbands and everything. It was kind of unclear who's attending, who's a vendor, do they even have a ticket, like how did they get here? A huge security, hazard. It's a huge hazard, like anything could have happened. She did say that the security that was just working at the convention center itself, that was like specifically hired by the event coordinator, was already working for the venue, that they were really, really great. So that's a positive, but genuinely so embarrassing. And on the day of the first day, I think it was the VIP, am I lying? It was either the first day or the second day. While at the event coordinator made a video saying, I am so sorry that this event is not up to standards, I will issue a refund to everybody who wants one. Please reach out to me. Girl, reach out to you. Why the fuck wouldn't I want a refund? What a weird way of saying it. Like, just give everyone a fucking refund. You fucked up. There was like panels and people had to sit on the floor because there weren't any chairs. It was just people meeting up. Like, they could have done this in a park. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't need a whole ass convention center. Or, it wasn't a whole ass convention center basement to have this fucking meetup. I'm so sorry to everyone who attended and was like disappointed and wasted their money, because of course there was also the ball for $250 that you could attend and nothing was there. There was no food. I think the drinks were super expensive from what I remember. Nothing was there, nothing was going on. They didn't even have a fucking DJ. The DJ was a JBL speaker. Absolutely not. I'm sorry. And from the video that I saw, it looked like there weren't many people there again, like, not that many tickets sold anyway, but the show, or how do you say it in English? The scene that I would have made there if I had paid at least $250 to attend a ball, or maybe I was like an author, the scene I would have made would have been one for the books, no pun intended, because I cannot deal with bullshit like that. I'm sorry. I'm way too German for that. That is absolutely not right. And then something else that was funny, I'm just looking at the notes, is that there were tables for the vendors, right? And they didn't have tablecloths. So it was just bare desk, raw dogging the desk. Maybe there was like a little flower petal on it. I think that was for the ball exclusively. But they didn't have any tablecloths, and it's funny to me because the the event coordinator allegedly sent out an email beforehand saying that there would be tablecloths. Like, she sent out an email saying there would be, and then there weren't any. Then why the fuck did you say that? Like, you could have just not said that. You could have said bring your own tablecloth, bring your own everything, bring your own books, bring your own swag, and of course, my favorite part is the content creation room, and this is maybe a meme that you have seen online already, like this entire thing. There was a content creation room listed as an amenity for people who bought a ticket, also the people who bought the cheapest ticket, which was $50, and the way you read it, it would sound like it would be a big room with decorations in it to take photos, you know, photo ops. No. It is just an empty conference room. This would have made me laugh, honestly, in real life. Like, that is a kind of great. And then the author that told this story, she said on the second day, the content room was closed due to technical difficulties. It is an empty room. What technical difficulties do you have? Where am I supposed to create my content in if the room is closed? My god. I'm so sorry to everyone who attended. I hope you all get your money back. The event coordinator is allegedly coming out with their own book. So people were speculating, allegedly, that maybe she was doing this intended as a scam because she needed money to fund her own book publishing. Because I think her first indie published book. And so, allegedly, people were saying maybe she needed some money and was like, I'm just going to do a scam. But there was another event planned for the end of the year in October, and she canceled that. And I hope everyone's getting a refund for everything. I mean, you bit off more than you could chew. And I think that's always the issue with these events. Whenever an event fails, it's because people organize it that have nothing to do with event coordination and have never done it in their lives and were just maybe too prideful to be like, okay, we fucked up. Like, I can't do this. We can't do this. Sorry. Like, we really want to do this. We can't do this. Maybe at a later time. Or maybe just as a smaller scale. But, no. No. And my favorite part is the content creation room. That was just an empty room. And people sitting on the floor for panels. I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm so sorry to anybody who went there. But what did you expect, honestly? Like, honestly, I watched the video that I told you guys about earlier, the Do We Know Them episode. And it goes way deeper with like the promotion for this event and the announcements and how things were described already beforehand, and then of course them not posting anything beforehand even though people paid for it. It's like, okay, something sussy was already going on, nobody caught on to it. At some point you gotta just realize that something fishy is going on and maybe pull out. But people were dedicated to the cause and it fucked them up. I mean, especially people who are indie authors, maybe even first time indie authors. I think they probably got the worst end of it, because I imagine they went there with a bunch of books that they specifically ordered and swag to sell and so on and so forth, and then nobody showed up, they got no exposure, and now they're fucked over. You know, she fucked over so many people. Girl, I hope everybody gets their money back and you never make an event again. So now it is time, guys, to get to my favorite topic of today's video. It's not my arch nemesis, it's not the event that everybody already knows about. I am of course always looking for the niche things to tell you guys about, which it's not niche, it's big on German Book Talk. The German Book Talk event that is going to happen in the first week of June. So that's why you'll get an update on it, how it went, if there's any drama around it. But let me give you the German tea. So, if you are German, let me know if you knew about this or not. This is how things go in Germany. Let me sit up for this one. So, there is a German book talker called Jess. I don't like her. I don't fuck with her. I've talked about her before. She makes German book talk content. She has... I don't know, actually. 600 or 700,000 followers on TikTok, which is a lot. And she's super popular, especially in the dark romance community. And that is why I have talked about her before. Because she is one of the spokespersons on German Book Talk for Haunting Adeline. Just to name one. I don't follow her that closely, but I think every creator is associated with one book. Maybe because they've stated it's their favorite or for whatever reason. Let me down in the let me down in the comments. Don't do that. Don't let me down. Let me know in the comments which book you associate with me. Be honest. Don't say what you think I would want to hear, but just say what you think, because I haven't liked any book. So what book do you think about when you think about me? Or maybe just an author comes to my mind instead of a book, maybe. I don't know, but people who make normal book content, it's like, okay, if I think of her, I think of Haunting Adeline. If I think of... That's where it ends. I actually don't think of any other people, so... But I think you know what I mean. And she is just like the perpetrator of dark romance on German Book Talk. People always go to her videos and think of her. She has a young audience. She has a normal age... Not normal age, what's a normal age? But like a 20 and up's aged audience also, but I remember going through her comments at one point for one of my videos. I don't remember if it was a podcast episode or a review that I did, but I was like, look, there are young people in her comments. She's not criticizing this book in any way or looking at it critically in any shape, way, or form, which Haunting Adeline arguably definitely deserves. And it's like young people that have their age in their bio, that are underage, commenting, oh, I can't read it because my mom won't allow it. It's like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, I've never fucked with this lady. If you're watching this, I don't fuck with you. We can do a 1v1 if you invite me to your book event. She's organizing a book event. This is the point we're getting to. She is organizing a book event called World of Treasure. I don't know if it's one treasure or multiple. And actually, it's called World of Treasure Days, and it's in Berlin on the 6th of June. So if you are there, let me know. If you're going, let me know. I can't wait to hear about it. You're going to say, what is the drama around this? I gave you the background on her. This event is a convention, the way I understood it, with different German publishers attending. And there's going to be authors attending, there's going to be panels, there's going to be autograph sessions, meet and greets. You can obviously meet her. This is her event. This is marketed as her event and her like company, because they also sell merch. And it's just gonna be an event all around books, and especially focus on German authors and German dark romance authors who I don't give a fuck about. Sorry guys. Love you though. Keep going strong in German. So obviously can't wait to attend. The tickets were like 40 euros and up, I think, and it was sold out relatively fast. So she is organizing this event alongside with her management, which I'm unsure if it's the entire management group or just one person of this management group, because she's in a management group, which I'm not, obviously. Does anyone want to manage me? I don't need a manager. I don't need a manager. I'm my own manager and major. I don't need a manager. But, you know, if you're a bigger creator, it makes a lot of things easier because they look for corporations for you and stuff like that, and they take care of all of that. So, because in the bio of this event, only her name is tagged and what a person from the management is tagged. So I think it's just the two of them that are organizing this event. What is the issue? They started announcing it. People are super excited about it. They obviously think it's her event. They associate her with it, this creator. And then they make a post saying, guys, thank you so much for all the positive resonance. We can't wait. We want to make your dreams come true, and we are looking for volunteers. Before I talk about this, I want to also say that everything I say is alleged, and this is all in Minecraft, and this is also my opinion, because you have to understand that the German law is very strict. There's a lot of rules, there's a lot of laws, and I don't know them. I don't know them very well. Especially not when it comes to this, because why would I, right? However, the main issue, I'm gonna read out the little thing to you guys, how they were looking for volunteers, and I'm just translating this off the top of my head, so don't come for me. They are looking for people to support them at the event for around 8 hours a day, because I think this is a 2-day event, or 1 day, doesn't matter, an 8-hour shift. You are able to experience this event from a whole different perspective because you're backstage, I think is what they're referring to. And you have an amazing, ambitious team, which how would I know that if everyone's a volunteer? And then the most important part, what do you get for it if you're doing this 8-hour shift at this event? You get to do a meet and eat with Jess, the TikToker, on Thursday evening, when you are getting your instructions for the next day, for the event, what you have to do. You're getting free books. You're getting a goodie bag and surprises. And my favorite, it actually says this, you get free entrance to the event. I sure hope I do if I have to fucking work. I get free fucking entrance and I get breaks? Really? For my work? For my work day. You're so fucking gracious. That's it. So if you haven't noticed, I did not read out to you that they're getting any money. And that is the whole point of this conversation. People were freaking out because they never said that the workers would be compensated financially. They would be compensated in the form of merch and swag, basically. And it says you're gonna work for 8 hours. And then in the comments, people were like asking questions, and in the comments of this account under this post, allegedly they also wrote that, well, there wouldn't probably or maybe be enough time to meet an author for a signing because, you know, the schedule's gonna be tight. So actually I do think it's only a 1-day event. But for people who are working it, they have to come the evening before for instructions and to tour the venue and stuff like that. That's normal, I think. The issue is you're not getting any monetary compensation. The thing is, in Germany, because obviously you can be like, oh, well, here in my country, it's like this and this and this. That's okay. That's okay, that's good for you. In Germany, there are very strict labor laws, which I think is good. And this is a company, I'm gonna try to explain this to my understanding, right? Everything I say is alleged. This is an event by a company. A company. It's not like a volunteer, how do you say? Verein. Oh my god, how do you say Verein? Like a a volunteer group or something who's organizing this event. This is a company behind the event who is seeking monetary gain. I love German drama. They are selling tickets and they are seeking monetary gain from this event. It's not like an event that's like organized by fans for other fans, you know, where it's like, oh, it's barely gonna equal out and like we're just doing this out of the good of our heart. We're like a group of people who want to do this. We're not a company. No, this is a company who are trying to make money from this event. And as soon as that happens, from my understanding, you need to compensate your workers financially, because people were like arguing in the comments. This is like this is a super intense topic because people love this creator. They ride or die for her. They're like, oh, if you don't want to do it, then why are you arguing? Like, why? What does it matter to you? Like, you don't want to do it, and just don't do it. Blah blah blah. Okay, we're gonna get to that in a second, but it's the law. The fuck? They're like, well, volunteers are common for other things, and it's like, yes, but you have to differentiate. The law doesn't apply universally to everything. This is a company who is making money, and so therefore they have to compensate their workers financially. Like, this is not a compensation. Free entry to your workplace is not a compensation for you working 8 hours for a company who's making money and who could easily pay you. And so that is a point of contention. And what else did they say in this post? That they wouldn't cover any traveling fees. So if you were to sleep from Thursday to Friday in Berlin, they are not paying for that. And if you have to travel there because you're like from Berlin around the area, if you have to take a train or something, they're not compensating you. It also doesn't say anything about food. It doesn't say anything about drinks. The breaks are not, there's nothing about breaks, right? It seems like they just thought that was going to be enough. And something else that I didn't see people point out is, it says in this, the way you can apply is by sending a short description and photo of yourself, which we don't do that anymore in Germany. I don't know where you're from. In Germany, you don't have to send photos for applications anymore because of discrimination laws. Because they don't... Why the fuck would I have to send you a photo of me to apply for this job? Seems super, super outdated to me. Super weird. And people weren't happy. And I just told you guys, people were discussing it. They were like, all conventions are kind of based on this, where it's like free helpers, blah, blah, blah. You're not usually getting compensated financially or like monetarily for, I don't even know if that's the right word, by the way. I'm sorry if I'm using it wrong. You're getting mad at me, but I mean money. You're not getting money for your work. You're getting compensated in other ways. And I just want to say that even if that really, because I've never worked, well, I've worked one convention, but it was for my workplace, so I did get money because I'm an employee. Even if it is normal for conventions to do that, conventions of this kind, that it shouldn't be the norm. That doesn't make it right. Why the fuck don't you want to get paid for your fucking work? The fuck? I think it's good that we're starting this fucking conversation because I didn't know. People are saying, oh, like, I've worked at anime conventions and they always do it like that. It's like, okay, why? If they are making money, why aren't they paying you? Why are you accepting not receiving money? All the opportunities and connecting with people. You deserve to get paid for your jobs, okay? I'm here for you guys. Let me look at my notes, okay? It doesn't mean it's normal. That's also what I said. And then, what else did they say? Most anime cons are not organized by companies, but what is Verein? I think club. I think Verein is just club. Let me look that up. Verein. Sorry, we're doing a little intermission. Association. Club. Yeah, club, an organization, association. Perfect. I get a lot of words to choose from. And the German... Oh, my camera's turning off, guys. Good night. I'm telling you the rest tomorrow. As promised, we have the next day and the same drama. Let's speedrun this. Let's wrap it up. What is going on with this German convention? So, what did I mention last? I don't remember. But there are some more things that I want to point out. So, I think I was talking about the difference between volunteer work and a company that has Gewinnabsicht. They want to make money. So again, people were arguing, well, I've worked here, I've helped here. People were like, oh, I was an election helper and I was working for 8 hours and I didn't get any money. I volunteered for that too. It's like, okay, but that's not what this is. Like, that's different, first of all. Like, everybody can understand that that's different, and also the election is not looking to make money through the election, well. And this company that's making this event is, okay? So let me see what I wrote down. I was trying to be smart. Okay, other people were arguing anime cons, how they are also run by fans, basically. But again, a lot of anime conventions are run, from my understanding, by fans for other fans. And so those are probably clubs or associations running it, and they are not seeking to make a lot of money. Allegedly, maybe. And so that is the difference, because in Germany you have to differentiate between the two. I think I've said it enough times now that you understand. And also on this, where they were looking for helpers, this advertisement, they were saying that you would have to come a day before the event to get your instructions on what you would have to do. And the tasks were unclarified, so a lot of people were like, oh my god, they want these volunteers to work as security, blah blah blah. People just interpreted that because they didn't say that there was a security firm, company working. But now they've said that there is. So the people that would have volunteered wouldn't have had to do security work. They would do like, well, I'll read it out to you in a second. But if you, it's another one of those things. If you get instructions for your work, it's also one of the criteria that basically means you have to get compensated financially. And you can say like, okay, them getting a gift card or whatever is a compensation, but I don't think that's how it works. I don't understand all of the legal matters, but to me, if I'm working, I want money. I'm sorry. If I'm working for a fucking company, I want money. And I don't understand why they were looking for free helpers when you could have just hired a company. I mean, I understand they didn't want to pay them. That's why. But you could have just hired a company specifically for events where the people already know how to do their job and they're just supplying you with the people that can work for you. And I know that for, like, sometimes my friend, she works volunteer for a music festival, and that's like 2 shifts because it's for 2 days to at the bar, right? And she gets money for that, and she gets free entry to the event, if you can imagine that, to her workplace, and she gets money for it. She volunteers still, and it's a short-term contract, because people were like, oh, you would have to do contracts and blah blah. Even if you're volunteering, you're getting a contract, I hope, so you're insured. That's another one of the issues. They didn't clarify anything in the original posting, which is why people were so confused and like talking about it so much. And you could just do short-term contracts and that be it, and get compensated for your fucking work. The fuck? I even remember when in between jobs, I did this thing, and I don't remember what it was called, but it was an app for students where they, like, you could apply to jobs when people were looking for help. And I would work as a cashier for like 1 shift and get that paid. And that was also a short-term contract. You could easily do that for a day. It's not like that much of an effort if you know what you're doing. But they didn't know what they were doing. And so then people were like, oh, this is their first event. This is a small company. Of course they make mistakes. But exploitation is a little bit of a big and grave mistake. A little bit, you know. So I don't know why the 2 girly pops that are organizing this thought that was okay, but apparently they did. Another one of the issues that people were pointing out is the power imbalance, because they did clarify you would have to be 18, thank God, to work this job. But obviously most people that apply to this, and I mentioned this earlier in the video, I don't know when, guys, it's been so long filming this. When I mentioned earlier is people associate the creator with this event. Like, it's kind of like TanaCon. It's like TanaCon. So if Tana was like, I want volunteers for this event, it would have also been her fans that were like, oh yeah, I'll do free labor for you. I'll do free labor. I love you. Right? Like, that's always the issue when an event is associated with a creator or with anybody famous, because people were like, yeah, I love this creator, I would work free for her, like it's great, and I get free books, that's great. No, guys, like it's great, but you should also get money. You should get money. And so then there's like these 18-year-old girls who are just excited to be meeting this creator the day before for a meet and eat. And what are you eating even? That was also not clarified. That would have been very important for me if I would have wanted to apply to the job. Anyway, the people were pointing out, like, it's going to be young girls who work this shift, and maybe it's going to be overwhelming for them, and they don't really know what they're getting themselves into, and they're not getting any money, they're being exploited. And people were like, stop saying exploitation, blah, 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 this is not exploitation. But to me it is. To me personally. If you're working and you're not getting any money, and the company is making money and could pay you, because they are making money, you're being exploited, in my opinion. Also, another thing, it just keeps getting longer, right? Before I talk about the apology that they posted, is that a year prior to this event, it's happening in 2 weeks, what happened is that there was like a bookish box that did a giveaway for golden tickets to meet the creator who's organizing this event. And for some reason, this event is on the same day as, like, this golden ticket event is on the same day as this event, the World of Treasures Days, whatever event. And people were so confused because there was no feedback. Like, nobody knows what's going on. I feel like this is, in my opinion, in Minecraft, not very well organized. Because I also looked on their Instagram, which is like, I think a lot of people who get tickets and stuff, they go on Instagram to get instructions and like for hype. Today is the 22nd of April, I'm in the past, of May. The last time they posted anything event related was on the 3rd of May. And it's happening on the 6th of June. You haven't posted anything about the event in a long time. And why did you do that? That would make me crash out if I was attending the event. Like, post something about it, please. The only things that they have posted is the apology and like merch, new merch that is dropping, and advertising that. So anyway, to get back to this golden ticket situation, the way I've understood it now is that the golden ticket that these people won in this bookish box is not an entry ticket to the event that is happening on the same day, but to the after show party. So you can't attend the event with this ticket, but you can attend the after show. Which then raises the question, would you need to purchase a ticket for the event to even get to the after show? Like, where are the entrances? Are they separated? Are they one? What is going on? And why the fuck did they do it like that? Like, just give them a fucking ticket to the event. God forbid. But apparently not. So then, obviously, there was cries of despair and outrage. And people wanted to have some clarification on everything. So they made an Instagram post, and then in this Instagram apology, they were still actively looking for helpers, but then maybe the same day, even after they saw the response to the apology, or maybe in the days following, they started posting that they were no longer looking for helpers. So this is not a thing anymore. They are hiring people. Ugh. God forbid you have to pay your workers. So this is in German, and I didn't translate it. I'll just read it and translate off the top of my head. They were basically like writing, "Oh my god, we totally understand your outrage. We so get you." It was definitely written by the creator from, like, allegedly. The way it reads, I think, and the videos I've watched of this Jess Girly Pop, the way she talks is the way this is written. And so I think she wrote it. I don't know if they have a PR team or whatever. I mean, she is in the management, so I don't know why they didn't do it. But there's typos in this and everything, so it's like, I don't know why you didn't look over this. So they were like, okay, you have a lot of questions, so we would like to clarify. You would have to do either or one of these things. Putting on wristbands for people who are entering the event. Helping with the signing, no, I can't actually translate, the author signing events, like giving them pens and post-its so they can sign, and also checking the badges or the wristbands, checking the wristbands of the attendees who want to enter certain areas of the event, so to make sure that the right people are entering, and also just managing the signings with the authors, like that they are in the right queues and everything, and everyone is in the right place. And then they say that these tasks would happen in teams and would be clarified beforehand, and that all of the people could like choose their own work. Like you would get to choose which of these tasks you want to do. And that is like, why the fuck would anyone choose to put on wristbands on fuck-ass visitors if they can be at their favorite author's signing and helping them and getting a chance to meet the author? Why would anyone then choose that? That makes no sense. Why it should get assigned. First of all, dumbass idea. And also, remember, I mentioned earlier that there were comments saying, oh, they said in some comments, which are alleged because I never saw them, that they can't guarantee that you would get to meet your favorite author or that you would have time as a worker to even walk over the event, because they just don't know if there would be enough time for that because you're working, right? Which is crazy. I feel like everyone gets a chance at some point, at least on a convention, to, if they're working it, to just visit it themselves and walk over the convention and stuff like that. So then they continue. This was like multiple slides on Instagram and TikTok. We understand your outrage totally. And that is why we want to answer all of your questions. And then they go, your actual work time would be 4 hours. Okay, remember they said 8 hours in the other post. It would be 4 hours. The rest of the time, you would be a visitor of the event. They were talking about 8-hour shifts separated into 2 shifts for 2 people, because you're working in a team with another person. So you would work 4 hours and the other person would work 4 hours. So you would have 4-hour work time, but you're at the event at a total for 8 hours. But you're not working the full 8 hours. Doesn't make any sense to anybody what I just said, because it doesn't make any sense to me. What do you mean I only work 4 hours, but I'm there for 8 hours, but you said I would have to work 8 hours? And also, how the fuck do I split it up with the other person? Like, do I work 4 hours and then I get to walk around and she has to work 4 hours? Or do I have to work an hour and then they have to work an hour and then I get to work an hour and they have to work an hour? Who's managing this? How would this work? Doesn't work for me. And they said, we are so thankful for every volunteer. Of course, you will also get food and a backstage entrance access. And as a thank you, we'll get a meet and eat the day before, free books, goodie bags, merchandise, and then they say it again. Free entrance. Bitch. I know, it's my workplace. Why the fuck wouldn't I enter? Free! What the fuck? Why do they keep saying that's like a benefit? And then they would also get Aufwandsentschädigung, which is like reparations, in form of a book gift card. And of course, all of the helpers are insured. And helpers is small, but it should be a capital letter because it's a norm in German. So anyway, that is what they posted on Instagram, and to me it reads like they were still looking for helpers at this point, right? And this was on the 4th of May. And then they were like, okay, never mind, and posted an update, basically. Let me see where that is. And they updated the caption of the original post where they're looking for helpers and this apology, which it's not really an apology, it's just a clarification, right? Basically saying, thank you all for reaching out. We're so thankful and grateful. But after thinking about it, we're going to find a solution internally. And we're no longer looking for volunteers. And there will be no volunteers at this event. Everybody who applied will be messaged personally to be told that they are no longer working there. And that's it. Since then, there hasn't been any update. The other posts that they have, again, since this apology, are 2 posts advertising the new merch that they're dropping and nothing related to the event. And there's a very few comments under that, which makes me think that allegedly maybe they have been filtering comments. And I just think it's really funny. At the end of the day, it's not that deep. But truly, everybody who wants to do it can do it, you know? Who am I to judge? Who am I to say you can't do free labor, unpaid labor if you want to, if you really want to? But that doesn't mean it's right. And that doesn't mean people should talk about it and maybe like push to make a change in this convention community, that people should be paid for their labor. And just because you would do it for free doesn't mean you should. And that's kind of like the end of the story. Guys, let me know what you think about this German German convention drama, and I will update you when the event happens. If there's anything, I'm gonna look it up, people will post about it, and I hope that everything goes smoothly. I hope they don't cancel it for some reason and don't go through with it, but we don't know. We will never know. That is it for today's podcast episode's topics. Please let me know what you think. And before I end this video, of course, I want to give a shout out to all of my lovely members, because we even have some new members that I would like to personally thank with a big smooch. But before I do that, I want to tell you guys what my members get. They get to vote on my reads. They get my videos a day early. They get my peace and love. They get exclusive content such as my Ruby Red movie commentary. And I love them, and they get stickers and stuff like that, and they just support me with the channel, and I love you guys. And Silver Elite, they didn't vote for, I can admit that, but they would have. They would have voted for it, I'm sure. So that's why I don't say every read anymore, because it's just like, you get to vote my reads whenever I feel like it. Whenever there isn't a new sensational book talk book that's taking the world by storm, because then I have to read it. I hope you understand. So thank you to all my members. A special thank you to all of my new members, which are actually three new members. Just a Silly Tomato, thank you for becoming a member. Tomatoes are actually my favorite. I know they're a fruit, considered a fruit, but they are my favorite vegetable. I don't care. It's not that deep. I actually used to not eat tomatoes at all because I was just not that type of bitch, but now I am, and I love tomatoes. I eat them every single day. That's not a joke. I will eat them like an apple. Anyway, then we have Caitlin Gradle. You slay queen. Thank you for becoming a member. If this is you in your profile picture, you're really pretty. Love you. And then Melvina, who is the most recent member. Thank you so much for joining. And I hope you enjoy your stay, and make sure to look for the next voting, because after Silver Elite, I'll make a vote again for my next read. Because I love reading so much, and I don't know what to read. But my members always know. They know what I need, what I need to read. They know better than me. So thank you to everybody who is a member, but also thank you to everybody who is just watching and supporting. Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. I will say it 50 million times. And I hope you stay happy, you stay healthy, peace and love, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!